Ironheart broke a 5-year Marvel Cinematic Universe record before its release, but I'm worried that it means something negative for the new show focused on Iron Man's MCU replacement. Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark was the franchise's first hero. As such, he became the face of the MCU, starring in many of the MCU's best movies. Sadly, he died in 2019's Avengers: Endgame. While Downey is coming back to the MCU's slate of projects for at least 2 new Avengers movies, he will be playing Doctor Doom, not Iron Man. Due to that, the franchise has lost its main hero. As an Iron Man fan, I think the MCU needs to find a way to fill the large gap left by his absence. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is deeply connected to Iron Man in the MCU, making him his perfect replacement in a way. However, there has been a lot of criticism over how much Peter Parker has depended on Stark and his tech, and with Spider-Man, Brand New Day said to be a fresh start for the franchise, the Iron Man connections should be cut. Instead, another hero rises as Tony Stark's MCU replacement, and I'm worried about her. While they never met in the MCU, Dominique Thorne's Riri Williams is the closest character we have to Iron Man's replacement in the franchise. The hero debuted in 2022's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, where we learned that Riri was as much of a genius as Tony Stark. Their connection came through the use of Stark tech. In the MCU movie, Riri used Stark blueprints to come up with a working arc reactor of her own, allowing her to craft her first Ironheart armor. Like Iron Man at the start, Ironheart needed some time to get used to the suit. Later, she would get the help of Shuri, the MCU's new Black Panther, with access to Wakandan technology to create a more advanced Ironheart armor. This new suit is completely made of vibranium, making it leaner, faster, and more powerful in pretty much every way. Like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Riri's Ironheart suits keep evolving, and I love how much she reminds me of Stark's MCU journey, even though the two characters never met. In the comics, Riri ends up with an AI version of Tony Stark as her mentor. I'm even more convinced RDA's Doctor Doom will win in Avengers: Doomsday after the MCU just started its new civil war. A major Avengers Doomsday theory explains how Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom is more likely to defeat the MCU's heroes after the new Civil War. Since RDJ is back in the MCU for at least the next 2 Avengers movies, I would love to see the actor also return as a Stark AA to bring that comic book storyline to life. However, I have to say that it is not needed for Marvel Studios to decree that Ironheart is Iron Man's MCU replacement. Her story is very much in line with Iron Man's. The characters have similar enough personalities, and the Iron Man-like armors speak for themselves. While Spider-Man is more closely connected to Iron Man, Ironheart is Tony Stark's real MCU replacement. With the creation of Disney+, Marvel Studios has put out quite a few TV shows over the past few years. That has allowed the franchise to establish trends when it comes to the release of new MCU series, and as noted by the Direct, Ironheart breaks one of those. The next 2025 MCU TV show has the shortest gap between the release of its first trailer and the series release for MCU shows. Marvel Studios finally released Ironheart's first trailer on May 14. The MCU series debuts with 3 episodes on June 24. Marvel Studios released the show's first trailer only 42 days away from Ironheart's release date. Previously, that record used to belong to Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Born Again, the MCU's first 2025 series, saw its first trailer release with a 48-day gap to its release date, nearly a full week more than Ironheart. On the other end of the spectrum is Loki Season 1, whose first trailer released a whopping 180 days before the series. Interestingly, when that show returned for a second season, things played out differently. Loki Season 2 had a much shorter gap, standing at just 66 days. The MCU is going through quite a few changes. Due to the divisive nature of the multiverse saga, Marvel has a new stance on how to handle its TV side. I believe that the shorter gap between a show's first trailer and its release date is part of the new marketing plan for MCU releases. The fact that Ironheart breaks the MCU trailer record and Daredevil, Born Again, the MCU show right before it, did the same, sure seems to point that way. However, I can't help but feel there could be another reason in Ironheart's case. I fear that Marvel might not be confident in Ironheart. The show was created before the MCU overhauled its approach to series. As such, it did not have the longer development pipeline that other projects now have, with the show being delayed multiple times, which is why it is only being released now. Ironheart's gap between the first trailer and series release being shorter than Daredevil, Born Again's, even though the character is not as popular as Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock, has me concerned about how it will perform. Marvel might not have plans for Ironheart Season 2. While the MCU trailer record broken by Ironheart and the lack of promotion for the show are reasons why I believe Marvel does not intend to bring it back for Season 2, they are not the only factors that make me think so. Back when the MCU started delving into TV shows with the creation of Disney+, the focus seemed to be mostly on crafting limited series. Daredevil, Born Again's planned multi-season run breaks that mold, and it seems like new MCU TV shows will have that in mind. Initially a TV show focused on Don Cheadle's War Machine and Stark Tech falling into the wrong hands, Armor Wars became a movie. However, Ironheart is part of the old mandate, so Season 2 might never have been in the cards. Adding to that, I feel like the project that would have made Ironheart key to the MCU being scrapped kills the show's potential. That would be Armor Wars. Initially a TV show focused on Don Cheadle's War Machine and Stark Tech falling into the wrong hands, Armor Wars became a movie. The film was later quietly cancelled, according to MCU reports. With the multiverse being Marvel's focus at the moment, Ironheart now feels out of place, though I hope it's a hit.